What up, what up? Welcome on in to a bonus edition of Inside Baylor Sports, the official daily podcast of Baylor Athletics. I'm Justin Hoff alongside the Baylor Bear insider Jerry Hill for our 2024 volleyball season preview show. We'll be joined later in the show by Baylor head volleyball coach Ryan McGuyre. But first up, Jerry, let's talk about the preseason ranking for the Bears. They entered the season number 23 in the country, and they were picked 5th in the Big 12 preseason poll. What do you make of those rankings?
Yeah, I thought it was great to be in the top 25 again. I think it's maybe seven or eight consecutive years that they've been ranked. So great to be in that top 25. That's where you want to be. You want to maybe even move up a little bit more so you can host that first and second round. I thought it was a little low in the Big 12, but I mean, some of that is the teams that have come in. I mean, there have been some really good teams, including BYU, that have come into the league, and Utah and Colorado. I mean, there's a lot of really good volleyball teams. Everybody will talk about, well, Texas and Oklahoma aren't in here anymore. And Texas, obviously, maybe the best volleyball team in the country. But, I think it's still just a really strong league, probably across the board, but particularly in volleyball. This is a really good volleyball league.
We're now joined by Baylor head volleyball coach Ryan McGuyre, embarking on your 10th season at Baylor coming up. You've done an incredible job turning this program into a consistent top 25 team and a national power. Coach, what are your expectations for the season ahead?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really looking forward to this season. Just the quality of women we have on this team is spectacular. I've been here a decade now. That 10 years seems to have flown by, but expectations are really high this year. I think, last year we were really, really young, no seniors. Now we got 7 seniors. We got some transfers that have come in, and a group that really wants to work hard and get after it. So we want to compete for the Big 12 title this year. It's kind of wide open. We got new faces and new places joining us, so I think nobody knows what to really expect, but I like our chances just because of how adaptable this team is and how gritty we've been able to be in double days as we get ready for the season to start. So I think at this point, volleyball is just so strong throughout the country. Once you get in the tournament, it starts to be anybody's team. There's still the regulars that have been making Sweet 16s, and we want to continue to be one of those and push forward and go a little bit deeper this year.
I know Jerry will jump in on the non-conference schedule here in just a moment, but wanted to ask you about obviously the season getting underway with the Baylor Classic this weekend. What are you looking to see from your team in the opening weekend?
Yeah, I think we really just want to see growth in our offense. Jackie Frazier's come in, transfer from Auburn. Harley Kreck, a redshirt freshman, have both done really, really well these past couple of weeks. So this weekend, we just want to see what our rhythm looks like in game competition. I think offensively this year, we're been a little bit more creative than maybe what we've been in the past, and just varying the speeds and tempo of the sets and maybe hitting from different locations than what we've done. Part of that is the maturity of our hitters, being able to recognize that. So really looking for our rhythm. Would love to hit at a high offensive clip and high kill percentage, be a lot more terminal than maybe how we finished last year. And then defensively, I like what we've done with our blocking. So hopeful to see that our block have an impact on all of the matches. Not necessarily looking at blocks per set, but are we changing what the opponents are doing, their first choice? And so can we misdirect? Can we slow things down? Can we force them to maybe set somebody they don't want to, and convert blocks or convert digs into kills?
Ryan, looking at your schedule, I mean, once again, just a crazy non-conference schedule, how tough it is. This season, once again, playing in the Big 10, Big 12 Challenge, but this time you get to host it in Waco, Minnesota, Wisconsin, TCU, September 6th and 7th, big-time volleyball. What do you think about that schedule that weekend?
Yeah, great volleyball, all 4 great teams, all 4 tournament teams, all teams that are probably going to be ranked in the top 25 this year. Minnesota, Wisconsin, ourselves already being there. look forward to those matches every year. We've beaten Minnesota, we've beaten Wisconsin, but we haven't done both in the same weekend. So glad that we finally get to host them at home and showcase our conference versus a good Big Ten conference and those teams in front of our crowd. We play this tournament early, and it is always great for us, win or lose these matches, because it lets us know what areas we need to work on, and areas we feel we're strong in, and we can really see against the top caliber programs if we're going to be effective with it or not. And so past few years we've done well, and hoping for the same this year.
I know some of the challenges have died out with all the conference realignment and stuff. Is this one you think that continues on?
To be determined. Like, this is the fourth year of kind of the deal, so we went to Minnesota first, we went to TCU, then we went to Wisconsin, and we're back here to finish it off at Baylor. So I like the interconference challenges. I think with all the realignment, I'd be in favor, kind of like basketball, to maybe take a break in the middle of Big 12 and do a SEC challenge or a Big 10 challenge or ACC challenge with some of the schools that are probably closer and regional, since all these conferences are transcontinental. I think would be great. We've always wanted great competition, good competition. So there's a benefit when it comes to RPI and selection show and what's going to get us into the bracket and what the seeds look like. So if it's not Minnesota, Wisconsin, then we'll figure out how to be in another one and pick up a couple schools from a couple others. And I like it that it made scheduling a little bit easier. So for the last 4 years, I knew it actually was opening weekend, because we've had football opening weekend. We bumped it to weekend 2, but it made scheduling 4 years easy because we just knew who we were playing first weekend the last 4 years.
And the non-conference schedule also includes or features SMU, LSU, Hawaii, and Texas all at home. That's incredible. I know you go to Rice on Tuesday, I believe, but how does this schedule prepare you for what you'll see in the Big 12 this year?
I think it'll prepare us extremely well. There's no weak teams in the Big 12. SMU, Rice, LSU, Hawaii, Texas, again, all top-level teams. So they're all very similar. Obviously with the Texas, winning it all last year, top program. So that prepares us for the Arizona State, the Kansas, the BYUs that have been really strong, the SMU, tournament team, Hawaii, LSU, always battling, prepares us for everybody else in the conference. Again, wide open. So, yeah, there's no sleepers, there's no automatic wins really on our schedule. It's it's 3 great teams we got to worry about this weekend first, and like coaches are saying all the time, we do got to take it a match at a time. But I think the atmosphere and the battle that we get from all those teams will be like the battle we're going to get, whether we're hosting TCU here or we're at Kansas or K-State or BYU. It's going to be a challenge, but one that we're welcoming.
Well, Coach, the one constant in college athletics, and you talked about it a little bit, is change. And we've seen some of that, obviously, with the offices, construction, facility, different things like that. And if you're on social media, for the listeners and viewers out there, you may have seen there's a new court that Baylor Volleyball has, a new Terraflex court. You obviously see that on the broadcast. Talk about that. That's a big deal for your program. What kind of impact, and what's it been like training on that for the last couple weeks here?
Yeah, absolutely huge deal. It's a game changer. I think like everybody's healthy. We manage our jumps and our loads and everything, but it's a court designed for volleyball players to train the way volleyball players train, and just the amount of jumping we're doing, the amount of diving, rolls, sprawls that are happening going to the floor. I know the girls' bodies appreciate it. Just the jarringness or it's a different feel than when you're hitting kind of a big thud of the hardwood when you're going. I think it looks awesome. So when you come to the Ferrell Center, you can tell it's going to be a volleyball match. We're not taping lines on top of a basketball court anymore. So aesthetically, it's clear. Hey, here's 10-foot line, attack line, service line. Here's where in and out is that really clean, really clear. And then the other advantage is we have it down because basketball's out, so our athletes are able to come in without coaches or come in more frequently one-on-one with coaches. So it's really been able to increase our training time and efforts there. So the wear and tear is great. And the timing's been perfect. Like for NCAA, you can't host first or second round if you don't have Terraflex as well. So, Lord willing, we'll be a top 16 seed and we'll be hosting, and we have everything in place to continue to do that.
Love the sound of that. And you mentioned a little bit with the Ferrell Center, more real estate there with basketball moving out. So now it's just y'all and acrobatics and tumbling. Obviously, you've moved offices. What's that transition been like for you to now know, speaking into a little bit more, that, hey, your athletes, your student athletes, your coaches have a lot more time on their hands to use the main court?
Yeah, that real estate is huge. Just having room to get better. From the equipment, from our serving machines, to be able to spread out on more courts gives you more reps. So, instead of 18 kind of squeezing onto one, we can put 3 on one court, 3 on another court, 3 on another court, 3 on the fourth court if we want. So whether they're working on serving and passing or setter hitter combinations, it really saves time too, because they can be more efficient and hit those things more frequently. And then for the ones that want to go play pro, that want to play in the Olympics, the Ali Czech, the Briseños, a lot of our young athletes with great aspirations, they can come in here and fine tune and work on their craft and their skills at any time of the day. They're busy being student athletes, but when they have that hour break, or maybe a professor, cancels a class, that they're able to pop over at any moment and come in and get those reps. So it's the move has been busy. Like I said, I can't tell you where all of my books are right now. They're in my office, but might take me a little extra time to go find a quote here and there until I get it put away. But it's a blessing to be here at Baylor, and the transition has been really good.
Let's look at the conference slate. 18 conference matches with now the bigger conference of 16 conference schools. Lots of new members in the league. You get Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Houston twice of this season. What do you make of the new look and new feel of the Big 12?
Yeah, I think we get TCU twice as well. So we get the 3 Texas schools, TCU, Houston, Texas Tech. So it's like we said earlier, we got to be adaptable. So I got to love it to make sure we all love it. It is different. I won't lie, the home and away was kind of nice, where you could see everybody first round and add some tweaks, improve your game. Maybe you don't even show everything the first time through, and then go through it again and play them. We'll see BYU, Utah really early, and won't see them again, the whole rest of the year. So I think it just means from the longevity, we got to be much better early on, because you only got one shot with some of these teams and programs that could impact seeding, that could impact who wins the Big 12. Like these games in September are going to be really, really important for us. I think when we added all the schools, we have added 8 great ones. Arizona State made a great run of the tournament last year. Utah, Colorado, powerhouses. Arizona have been in the Pac-12, competitive. And then the previous schools that all jumped in last year, seems like they're winning 30 matches every year prior to joining the Big 12. So they have some good coaches with a lot of experience as well.
Ryan, I was trying to remember if you had ever had a situation where you had no seniors on your roster, but none last year, right?
Correct. Yeah. That the first time ever. And even as a coach, I've 30 plus seasons, and, the combination of we had some heavy senior teams because of those COVID and those 5th years. And it just kind of worked out that way. And it was unique. And there's certain times, like, we have great maturity on our team. We talked a lot about leadership last year, and the best leaders are servants. And so I think we can have freshmen that are incredible leaders, but having that experience, just, playing someplace for the first time, maybe catches those freshmen, sophomores a little bit different. Seniors like, okay, I've been there a couple times. I know what to expect. I know how the opposing crowds are going to hate me. I think managing your time and just the double days, the classes, the studies. When you're seniors, they seem to have that figured out. They're experts at it. But then you have them kind of guiding others. So I think last year everyone was still experiencing it together, but maybe didn't have the mentorship of experienced teammates that had gone through it and could kind of guide them. So not the case this year.
Right.
Incredible senior class. You look at Lauren and Elise and Faith and AG that have been here forever, in a good way. Jennifer, Jackie transferring in, Manuela transferring in. So it's great maturity, but also just the leadership. What all of them are bringing has made it really, really fun to be in the gym. It makes my job a lot easier for sure.
And Ryan, shifting gears a little bit, Avery Skinner only played 1 year here, but man, what a fun summer. She was a standout for Team USA at the Summer Olympics, helped lead them to a silver medal. What was that like watching her not only make the team, but provide such an impact in her first Olympics?
Yeah, she did an exceptional job. Extremely proud of Avery. I think she was low in the depth chart maybe as she entered into the program and was working her way there. But an amazing young woman, really the whole family is. I think it's a testament to her work ethic, both on the court, her ability to just bring life and shine God's glory to others and resonate with others and make the people around them better. I think Karch, our national team coach, does a great job when it comes to building chemistry and synergy within the team. And so recognize both her work ethic and just her ability to bring out the best of those around her. She had a great tournament. I thought the team competed extremely well. Bummer the silver medal, right? We all want the gold, but just to see her work through that process, exciting, and glad that Baylor's a part of her story, and it's just really affirming to see her continue to apply things she's learned at her previous institution, Baylor, what they're teaching her at USA, and keep going. I think Avery just has a heart of great soil and is just soaks in and is observant when it comes to wisdom, and so whether it's Baylor or really with USA, just a quick learner. I think her speed of learning gives her a competitive advantage, and it was awesome to see her out there and win a medal for USA.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate your time, and looking forward to volleyball season getting underway and watching you this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, you got to give Ryan McGuyre a lot of credit, Jerry. I mean, Baylor volleyball and volleyball at Baylor means something, right? And he's put it on the map. And really, no matter what sport you're in, hey, if you're going to make a Final Four appearance, if you're going to win a Big 12 championship in volleyball and consistently go to Sweet 16s and top 25s, I don't know the streak off the top of my head, but it feels like this program has been in the top 25 every year for a long time. I mean, you just come to a spot where you just expect them to be in the top 25. And I know, their recruiting class in a couple of years, that's a top 5, top 10 class, but right now focused here. But this program and what Ryan McGuyre has done, simply incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he really turned it around. I mean, there were some good years, some good moments with this volleyball program through the years. Jim Barnes had a good run with a couple of years there, but Ryan has brought the consistency that maybe was lacking in this program when you look at it over the long haul. I think going into his 10th year, I mean, he's done an incredible job. Like you said, he's made Baylor volleyball, a force to be reckoned with. I mean, when you talk about a Final Four, when you talk about all the Sweet 16s they've been to, it's been a great program, and And, now it's cool. He talked about it and them and acrobatics and tumbling having their own home. I just think that's a cool thing, Justin, that they don't have to share it. I mean, volleyball, I think, is going to have that main floor a lot. And particularly during their season. So I think that's such a cool thing. And I know, I talked to Coach Fee Mulkey earlier this week, and she was so excited about those offices and everything. So it's just a big step up for them. But yeah, I think Ryan, what he's done with this program has made it relevant, more than relevant. They are, like I said, they're one of the, I think, elite programs in the country in volleyball.
Jerry, you look at the non-conference schedule, and it just amazes me and the teams. And I mean, just great for entertainment and for the fans, right? Bringing in some quality opponents. But each and every year, Ryan McGuyre, he schedules the best of the best, right? And there's a lot of cliches out there. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. Well, Texas, they go to the SEC. We're not sure if they're going to play Baylor in certain sports. Question answered right here. Volleyball, they're coming to Waco this year. You got the Big 12, Big 10 Challenge. You get a Wisconsin, a perennial top 5 program, in Minnesota, a team much like Baylor that's been in the top 25 pretty much every year. But Ryan McGuyre, never afraid to schedule hard in the non-conference.
Yeah, and I think if you're in the top 25, if you're a consistent top 25 team, this is what you need to do. You don't have to have it for strength of schedule because you get plenty of that in the Big 12. But this gets you ready for that Big 12 schedule and gets you ready for postseason. You've seen these teams. You've seen a lot of the teams that you're going to possibly see in postseason. So, yeah, I don't think Ryan has ever been afraid, even when he first started. But he certainly – schedule's about as strong as anybody can. And I love it, man. I mean, when you look at that home schedule in particular, with Texas coming in, with LSU, Hawaii, and then the Big 12 schedule, I mean, that's an unbelievable schedule. So if you don't have your volleyball tickets already, go get your season tickets right now and be ready for this weekend.
Yeah, and I'd even say to the students too, especially this great freshman class that just got on campus, volleyball, super exciting. I mean, this is elite volleyball, the best volleyball you'll see in the entire country, played right here in Waco, Texas. And I mean, just the speed of the game, your head going left and right. I mean, it's a really fun sport, and really a sport that's really easy to follow and pick up on because it's quick. I think some of the sports are a little bit slower, not as many points, things like that. Those can be harder, but volleyball's in a different story there. But Jerry, when you think about the seniors, I wanted to touch on this point. Last year, no seniors, and you asked Coach McGuyre about that. I think in the moment, hey, it's just part of the roster, just kind of how it shook out. I think most times, most coaches would always want some seniors, to lean on that experience. Right. I will say, though, going through last year, you could make a case that those juniors were needing to act like seniors, and that actually could pay more dividends this year, having 7 and having some strong leadership on the team. Lauren Brasino, Elise McGee, 2 of the key players and 2 of the key leaders.
Yeah, preseason all Big 12. I mean, those are 2 of your best players. And Justin, I would say sometimes those are the best teams when your seniors are your best players. And that was, a little difficult last year. But like you said, those juniors have grown up. They've already been leaders, and now they can just be even better leaders. And Coach McGuyre talked about it. You can be a leader when you're a freshman or sophomore. But now this team has 7 seniors to lean on. And I think that could make a huge difference with what this team does at the end of the year.
No doubt about it, and really looking forward to it. And it gets underway this weekend. All matches on ESPN Plus. Home this weekend, Abilene Christian on Friday at 11 a.m. Maybe you don't want to go into work that day. You just come to the Ferrell Center. Did not give you permission to skip, but, you make your own choices. And then 7 o'clock, 7:30, check that, against Tulsa on Friday. And then on Sunday against Campbell. So Baylor Classic and Baylor Volleyball getting underway, Jerry. A fun time of the year. Soccer's already got going. Volleyball, cross country, football get underway this weekend. But volleyball, one of those sports that will be here to stay for the next 3 months. And looking forward to a great season and hoping for a long season for volleyball moving into the month of December as well.
That's right. Yeah. And it does get, this week is exciting because it's also the first week of classes and you're seeing the student athletes back and now you get all the sports going, soccer, like you said, already off to a 3-1 start. But now you get volleyball and you get football starting on Saturday and cross country in their first meet going down to San Antonio for the UIW Twilight. So man, great weekend and, lots of volleyball to see with the Baylor Classic.
That'll do it for this bonus edition of Inside Baylor Sports, the official daily podcast of Baylor Athletics. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcast. For Jerry Hill, I'm Justin Hoff. Have a great day and sic 'em Bears.
Bears.